So with that, we have another great breaking James O'Keefe. I'm going to turn it over to Raheem Kassam. And James, welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you on because you're the epitome of what we got to do. You hit it every day, brother. That's all you mean. 10 years ago with Andrew Breitbart, you have been relentless since then.
Well, I really appreciate that, Steve. I know you mean it, and I'm broadcasting here from our building, our Project Veritas headquarters in Westchester, New York, and the Facebook insider is actually here. He's in the building with me. His name is Zach. This is a story we launched today. Steve, a Facebook moderator is caught on tape by one of their own recording that they are censoring people. That this is not a surprise, but what is a surprise is the nature of how intense they censor. They're talking about deleting MAGA people for terrorism. They're talking about affecting the election. 80% of posts that come up in this algorithm to be reviewed are Republican posts, according to Zach, the insider. So it's something we've all suspected, but to hear Facebook employees in their own words, subcontractors, talking about how they censor, it's pretty shocking.
James, I want to play the clip from one of the videos you put out this morning, so that both of our video audience, you can watch it here. It'll make a lot of sense to the radio audience as well. America's Voice. Let's roll the clip, and then James, you're going to walk us through it. Let's roll.
It's a very progressive company who's very anti-MAGA.
I think they're very biased with who they protect.
Facebook.
Shadow bans.
Yeah.
Facebook's notorious for it, and they say they don't, but it's clear that people's content don't comes up because it's been defiltered off the queue. They're doing something, man. They're just trying to pretend like they're not.
To me, censorship online is one of the biggest issues facing us in the lead up to the 2020 election. Let me run something by you. You know that civic harassment queue that we've been in lately?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is it like all Republicans in there?
Yeah, it's all Republicans. But a lot of it comes off the Trump's page specifically.
So for 75 to 80% of the posts to be targeting Republicans and conservatives, you can say it was a bot, but somebody had to design that algorithm. So really, somebody at Facebook.
If a Trump post was to come up and it was promoting Trump and I could take that down, then I feel like that's the
You'll delete all of them. With the MAGA hat, I'm gonna delete it for terrorism. Yeah.
That's
like if you see a conservative post, you just get rid of it.
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't give no.
Let's end it there. That's an absolutely extraordinary compilation you guys have there, James. Just explain to us what we're seeing there, and also how all that footage came about.
Thanks, Raheem. Yeah, that was obtained by a Facebook insider named Zach McElroy, who's gone public on the record. He worked for Cognizant, which is the company that Facebook outsources all of their content review to. And what he said to us in that chair sitting down is he said that 80% of the posts that are flagged comes from Republicans. So the algorithm targets these posts for review. And all those people that you see talking are his colleagues who are bragging about how they want to target Trump supporters for political reasons. One of the clips was, "We got to get the Cheeto out of office." That's the words of one of the supervisors at the company. And one of the guys named Dan Will said that Facebook does in fact shadow ban. They're notorious for it, but they say that they don't. We saw the same sort of thing out of Twitter. So I think that the insider, he's told me that he's willing to testify before Congress, and I think that he will. And I think this is the first time we've ever really seen up close and personal how these Facebook employees behave. Now, Raheem, they say that Zuckerberg is close with POTUS. There's reports that Zuckerberg is maybe the more moderate of the CEOs of these companies, but clearly the rank and file of the company censors, and this censorship appears to be deeply embedded in the algorithm, according to the insider.
James, that's such an important point, and it's something we've debated here as well in the War Room. If the CEO of the company, if Mark Zuckerberg is meeting with President Trump and is willing to come to an accommodation with him ahead of the election, that's one thing, right? But as you say, if the staff, if the foot soldiers, if the moderators, if the people behind these algorithms aren't on board with that or have the ability and power to carry on without the oversight of Zuckerberg in this area, then it doesn't matter. And it brings us over to the Facebook Oversight Board as well. well, right, James? This new organization that they've set up within Facebook that has the ability to overrule Mark Zuckerberg. So my question to you is, number one, what does it matter if Mark Zuckerberg, you know, gives the president the nice handshake and the wink and the nod over the dining table in the White House? And secondly, what are we always hear about 230, Section 230, but what are the other avenues of pursuit here? Because 230 is not the only thing, right?
Well, I mean, I've always said, Raheem, people ask me about policy. I'm not a policy expert. It seems like everyone's a policy expert. There's very few investigative reporters, so I got to stay in my lane.